Hey everybody, this is Barry Gordon. Now you may not know that name, but you probably know me as the voice of the Nestle Quick Bunny, Razor in SWAT Kats, and of course, Donatello in the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And you're watching In Conversation with Amber the Fangirl, ATF. Turtle Power!
Hi guys, Amber
Hello.
here. Hello, this is everybody. This is Barry Gordon. He is a voice actor and an actor. He's done a lot of on-camera stuff as well. Don't worry, I research his career inside out. Um, um, you might know him as the voice of Donatello in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and also the voice of Bebop in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and also
Yeah,
he. Oh,
yeah, that's right. Yeah, let's not forget Bebop, okay? Because, he always gets really mad.
Okay, well, luckily I said Bebop then. And you've also done Donatello for the 2012 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which you worked with Andrea on that because she was the voice director for that.
Well, we did the trans-dimensional. So we
Yeah,
still
just the one
played our
episode.
old Turtles because Rob does Donatello in the 2000.
Donatello. Yeah, that's
Yep.
what I meant. You were the old version of Donatello. Yeah.
Yeah.
And recently you've done his voice in TMNT Shredder's Revenge and Nickelodeon
Yes.
Kart Racers. So you've returned. You've returned with everybody
Yep.
else.
Yep. Is Kart Races out now? Has it been released?
I think so, yeah, because someone's
Cool.
released all of Frank Welker's Garfield lines, so I think it is out. Yeah, I
Oh,
think it is.
good.
Yeah, someone has uploaded. Hold on, Nickelodeon Kart Races 3 Slime Speedway. That's it. Yeah, it was released back in October.
Cool.
Yeah, sweet. What else is there? If you're not familiar with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise, then perhaps you may know Barry as the voice of Jake Razor Clawson in SWAT Kats, the Radical Squadron, which we were just looking at a brilliant behind the scenes image, weren't we?
Yes, it really, boy, did that bring back memories.
I
Those are
know.
great people.
Yeah.
A couple of them aren't with us anymore, unfortunately, but, just wonderful people.
Beautiful picture. I love just it was for Enter the Mad Cat because Roddy
Yeah.
McDowell is making
Yeah.
a guest
James is
appearance.
still with us. He's like
James, yeah.
94 or 95, I think.
Wow. Oh
James
my gosh.
Hong.
Yeah,
And of
Chess
course
is
Jamie
still
and Charlie, but we've
oh,
lost Roddy and we've lost Gary. Yeah.
and Gary. Yeah, bless him. Yeah, bless him. There's my little Donatello cursor, as you can probably see. It's the wrong
Oh, I
version.
do. Oh, it's a
Yeah,
Donatello cursor.
it's the wrong version, but that's the only one they had. I know it's the one that Rob voices, but I wonder why they didn't just get Rob just to play Raphael. I just think would have been easier, maybe.
Well, I just think they wanted to do different. And then Rob read for Donatello and they felt the voice fit. So that was cool.
Yeah, yeah. Right,
I was
okay.
retired, so I wasn't in competition for it. I've been retired for a
Oh,
while. So
oh, you've been retired.
yeah, yeah. I retired.
Oh,
Then I taught in a Master of Fine Arts program for a little while.
wow.
Taught film acting and stage acting and a
Mm-hmm.
little voice acting.
Wow.
And so yeah, but I started when I was 3. So I figured by the time I got to be like 63, I said, I've been doing this for 60 years. I think I'm going to take a break. So I did.
That
But
is
they pulled me out to do, transdimensional and to do, that other stuff. So it was fun to do.
yeah, yeah. Wow, that is dedication though. 60 years. My gosh, I admire you a lot, Barry.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What else have you done? I wonder. You voiced Clamhead in Jabberjaw, Inky
I
in
did.
Pac-Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Inky Little Ghost. I think who else is it? Susan Silo
Junior
was in that.
Wetworth and Snorks.
Junior Wetworth and Snorks.
Yeah.
Sheldrake in Batman the Animated Series. That's in the episode of the
Yeah.
Mechanic and Blind as
Yeah.
a Bat. So that's the
Yeah.
Penguins episodes with
2
Paul
episodes. That's
Williams.
right. That's right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was fun working with Paul. He was a kick.
Wow. I was gonna say, what was it like working with him?
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Wonderful to hear. Who else have you voiced Captain Marvel Jr. in Shazam, Robert
That was
Simmons
one of
in
the first
Mighty
things I did.
Autobots.
Yeah, that was a
Really?
real early one. Yeah.
Oh wow. Oh, that's
Yeah,
so
that was
cool.
pretty early. I
Hmm.
think the first thing that I did was Jabberjaw, as I recall. I think that might have been the first. And then I did a lot of guest things in Hanna-Barbera, like Jetsons and Smurfs, and then I did Snorks. But yeah, back in the old days.
Oh yeah, back when I didn't
Yeah.
exist.
That's right.
Sorry, I'm showing your age.
That's right. No, it's true. It's true. Well, that's what's so much fun, you know, is meeting a whole new generation of Turtle fans. It's just such a great thing to
Yeah,
see
yeah.
people that, you know, didn't exist when we did it and now do and seem to really love it. So it's exciting.
Yeah, of course. Just trying to figure. Okay, I'll show you in a minute. Sorry. You've voiced Robert Simmons in Mighty Orbots.
Rob Simmons, yep, I
Rob
did.
Simmons, yeah. He's all
Every
these
once in a
robots.
while, people come up fondly and remember that at the cons, and it's kind of fun that they remember Mighty Orbots. But
Wow, that's so cool. Yeah, I was gonna say because you got like Orbots, GoBots, Transformers. You got like all these different.
But my longest, I guess, my longest animated gig was 35 years doing the Nestle Quick Bunny. So that was a long one. Yeah.
Note that down. I was like, the rabbit, yeah. And they call it Nestle Quick, and now they just call it Nesquik, don't they? Yeah.
Now it's Nesquik, yeah.
Yeah.
And the rabbit doesn't talk anymore. The bunny doesn't talk. So yeah, he lost his voice.
You've also voiced Reggie Moonshroud in Gravedale High. Rick Moranis is Gravedale High.
Yeah. Oh, that was fun too. Great. What a great cast that was. You know, it wasn't a very successful show, but you had Rick Moranis on that show. You had two great British actors. Well, one great British actor, one great American actor, who are like legends in musical theater. And they were both on the show. Clive Revill, who played the original Fagin in Oliver on Broadway, and then George Hearn, who did the video of Sweeney Todd, although he didn't originate it, Len Cariou did, but he did the original, and he was on the show. I mean, it was just an amazing cast of people. Sherry Belafonte. I mean, it was just so many great people on that show.
Tim
but
Curry?
It didn't last very long. Yeah, and Rick was the lead, and it was so much fun.
Yeah, Tim Curry was in it. Roger Rose, Frank Welker.
That's right.
Kimmy Robertson,
I know.
Jonathan
It's crazy,
Winters.
isn't it?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Wow. This is a crazy cast. I know.
I know. That's so
Stan
cool.
Freberg, I think, might have been. I mean, it was just like everybody in that thing, but it was a big bomb-o. It didn't work.
Gosh, the additional voices though. Susan Blue was on it, Ruth.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Joe Gerber, Russi Taylor, BJ Ward, Howard Morris.
Oh yeah. It was just a who's who, that show of people. It was unbelievable. Every time I would walk in, it was just like, oh my gosh, that person. Oh, you know. I mean, I got to really fan out on that show. It was great.
You got to have a fanboy moment.
That's a lot of fanboy moments on that show. Yeah.
That's so cool. And Barry, you've also done additional voices for the Smurfs, the Jetsons, Superman, the Ruby Spears animated series, Droopy Master Detective, and you were the 25th president. I'm doing a bit of an win. President of the Screen Actors Guild. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so cool though, because like I don't know a lot of voice actors who are also like a part of like the sort of animation circle. Because
I got involved because I was going to law school at the time.
Oh, really?
And and so and the guys always kid me because I would come into the studio with my big heavy law books that were like this thick. And, you know, they would kid me because it would be on my lap and then I would be reading and highlighting and then my line would come up and I would shoot the line out and then I'd go back to my law books. So I was doing that and I got a friend of mine who was an actor I had just worked with, and he said, why don't you join this committee? And I joined a committee. And like a year and a half later, I was president through a series of very bizarre accidents and strange things happening. And I became president, and I was the longest serving president of the guild in their history, which was kind of interesting.
That is
I served for 7 years. I had to get elected, so it wasn't a guarantee, but I kind of always had that as a goal because I wanted to beat Ronald Reagan. So it was just, my politics and his didn't mesh. So I really wanted to beat Ronald Reagan and serve longer than he did. And I was able to do that. So, and Charlton Heston, who also served 6 years. So,
yeah. I mean,
I did one more year and then I retired.
I mean, that does sort of remind me of how like many voice actors in the animation circle themselves. Because when Will Ryan, do you remember Will Ryan? Yeah,
very well.
I still can't believe he's gone. Like I knew
can't
him
either
closely. He was a CIFA president of CIFA, I believe. Yeah, so he did that for a while. Yeah, he did talk to me about that. I remember, and he just told me a lot of stories. And I remember because that's when I initially tried to first make contact with you, Barry, because I was actually working on a documentary that Will helped me on, which is a documentary on Bill Scott, who voiced Bullwinkle.
Oh my God, who I never worked with.
Oh,
I never worked with Bill Scott. I always wanted to work with Bill Scott, and well, wait a minute, that's not true. I did do something with Bill Scott, but it wasn't Bullwinkle. But I can't remember what it was now, but I did something with him. And I can't remember what it might have been a commercial. But I can't remember.
On Ice, maybe? Could have been like an ice show, maybe Ewoks on Ice, maybe. That's just my guess.
I can't remember what it might have been, but I did work with him once. I'm thinking it was a commercial of some kind, a radio commercial, but I don't know.
That's so cool. Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah. So really, to get started, I'd like to talk about, well, of course, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and this is what I was planning to show you here. I have
what you got?
I have VHS tapes of the show.
Oh wow, yeah.
Have you noticed something?
Okay, let's see how it all began.
Yes.
That looks like.
Notice anything about the title?
Yes, and I know about that. I know about that because in the UK, that's what it is.
Yeah,
it's Teenage Mutant Hero. Why? Because they didn't think ninja would sell,
they thought ninja was a violent word.
Oh, too violent. Yes, that's right.
I was going to say
I did hear about that. It's the first time I've seen one, but I had heard that they'd had to change the title. Yeah.
Yeah, and then due to the violent connotations of the word ninja. I mean, more recent stuff just has the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles title. I'm having a look because I think it was broadcast on the BBC. Maybe I think. Let's have a look. Here we are. When shown on the BBC, phrases such as "Let's kick some shell" and "Bummer" were removed from the episodes. Because basically it was violent or something. And it's just I don't exactly know what the thing was. I'm trying to have a look on the little thing. It doesn't exactly say about the title change. Search up Hero. No. UK, yeah. They called it censored or something like that. In the United Kingdom, the series was originally released under the name Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. This was due to the controversy surrounding ninjas and related weapons such as nunchaku at the time. The intro sequence was heavily edited because of this, replacing the word ninja with hero or fighting using a digitally faded logo instead of the animated blob, and removing any scenes in which Michelangelo wields his nunchaku, replacing them with clips from the show. Scenes from Michelangelo using nunchaku were likewise edited out of the episodes themselves, such. The word ninja was also edited out of any speech within the show, often leading to some awkward-sounding dialogue.
I would think so, if they're making all those cuts.
Yeah, and the weapon, the nunchaku was replaced with, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, was replaced with like a grappling hook called the Turtle Line. So, yeah, that's, it just, because I was going to say,
I didn't know any of this. That's wild.
I was going to say, the way it's edited on the wiki, it doesn't look right. It just looks really distorted and out of place. Right, you know what? I think I'm good. We're gonna do this.
So when did that change? When did they start doing it normally again and let him use his nunchucks, or have they ever let him use his nunchucks?
Well, I can't remember when it was last rerun over here, but I think like I don't know.
That was during Thatcher's administration, wasn't it?
I believe so. Yeah, so that's probably why. I'm having a look.
That might well be why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like this. Yeah, because like okay, so let me just search up. Oh my gosh, this is like TMNT intro. Okay, so that's the classic intro. Yes. Okay. Keep playing. Yes, I'm having a look now, real quick. Why is it not? Oh, hang on. Okay, so that's just to compare it. So this is the original,
Right.
how it like blends in like that, and then you've got the UK version.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see how it looks very badly out of place. I don't know.
Kind of.
So it just dissolves on like that. I don't know. It just looks. I don't know. It just something doesn't sit right with me about it. I don't know why. I don't know. But yeah, there's VHS tapes under Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles branding.
Very cool.
It released in 1990, I believe. Yeah, and
that sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the tape itself. I'm a big VHS buff. That's I think this has The Invasion of the Punk Frogs and New York Shiniest. This one has, I think it just has How It All Began. Oh no, it doesn't. It has no, it just has How It All Began, I think. How long is that? 50 minutes. Was that like a special or something? How It All Began? I don't know.
Well, the show started with 5 episodes.
Oh, probably that compiled.
And not on CBS. It was on Group W on Westinghouse. So it started and it ran every day. It was like it ran 5 days in a row. And that's how the show started. And it was the origin story. And then after those 5 episodes, then we started to do regular episodes, but weekly episodes. But yeah, we ran for like 5 days in a row.
So my theory is then that the 5 episodes were then compiled and turned into like a special for this VHS tape.
That sounds right, because what would it have been? About 100 minutes?
50 minutes. 50. It says this is 50 minutes, so I presume 10 minutes each episode, maybe?
No, the episodes were longer than that, so I'm not sure.
Well, it says approx, so it probably doesn't mean it is that long.
Okay.
I don't know. I've never watched it. I've just had it in my room for...
Yeah.
I'm going to watch it tomorrow, I'll tell you what.
Or they may have edited it down, and just made a
most likely.
How It All Began thing, yeah.
Oh, I know. It probably is because of all the nunchuck scenes they've removed and all this.
Oh, that's it. That's exactly it. There were a lot of nunchuck scenes in those first 5 episodes. So, yeah.
UK was soft back in the day, Speaking of England, you were just telling me about your trip to London that you did last year, because if you guys didn't know, Barry and the rest of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Hero Turtles were meant to be at Wales Comic Con Telford Takeover last April, with Kevin Conroy, Wilfred Dell, everyone like that. Yeah, but things didn't work out and they didn't end up coming over. So Barry went to London instead. So what was that like for you going to London?
I already had the theater tickets. I wasn't going to give those up. So I was going to go to Wales, and then I was traveling with my wife. We were going to go to Wales, and then we were going to go to London. And when they canceled Wales, I had all those theater tickets. So I said, well, we're going to go to London, whether there's a Wales con or not. And so we did. And we had a great time. We actually also went to Liverpool and we went to Bath. And by the time we got to London, by the end of it, we found out that we both had COVID. But we know how we got it, because we got it at the Cavern Club, where no one was wearing masks. It was singing with the cover band for 3 hours, and everyone hugging strangers and drinking stout, and that's how we got COVID. So we've always said, if you got to get COVID, that's the way to get it. And because we're such Beatle fans, and we weren't sick really much. We had, I think, one day where we felt sleepy and achy, and then we were quarantined for 5 days, and then at the end of that, we still had another 3 days before we could get on a plane. So we put on our masks and saw more theater, and then came home. So it was actually, we loved it. We had an amazing trip. And I mean, the quarantine isn't strict. You don't have to stay in your room. You can walk around as long as you don't go into like indoor restaurants or anything.
Yeah.
So we did. We just did a lot of walking, and just had a wonderful time seeing the city, and it was just a ball. We'd been there before, but always for like a day at a time.
Yeah.
And this time we were there for 2 weeks, and it was just such a treat. And I really am in love with London. I just love it.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you had a good time. I haven't been since before the pandemic. So
where are you based?
I'm based in Chester.
Which is where?
In Cheshire? Near Liverpool.
Okay. So it's the north. It's the you're in the
north. Yes.
Okay.
Up there, you know.
I've been watching a lot of North stuff on television. Vera.
Oh, really?
Happy Valley. Yeah, I've been watching. Wow. I'm seeing a lot of the North these days. Yeah. So.
Have you seen Line of Duty by any chance? I don't think. I
love Line of Duty. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I have BritBox. I have Acorn. Those are my favorite shows. I just did the entire 12 episodes of Death in Paradise.
Wow.
I just have fun. I just feel that they know how to do crime drama better than anybody. And you guys really do know how to do that. So.
Oh, thank you, Barry.
So that's my treat.
That's so cool. Wow. So going back to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Of course.
The voice director for the show, Susan Blue. What was it like to work with her?
Well, I knew Susan from being a voice actor. So I'd worked with her before, but when she came in to direct, she was just wonderful. She didn't do the first 5 episodes. That was a fella named Stu Cohen.
Oh, is it Stu Cohen?
Yeah, or Stu, not Cohen, Rosen, Stu Rosen.
Rosen, yeah,
Stu Rosen, and he did the first 5, and then Sue came in and did the other 9 years, and she is a joy. I mean, she is just so wonderful to work with, so easy, so comfortable, and and it was just a party every time we got together. Everyone, it was just so much fun. I cannot imagine a more fun series. Just doing that for 9 years was just so much fun.
Wow. Well, sounds like you had a great time then. Oh my gosh. Like, just to do that show alone must have been like massive. Okay, when you first did it, would you have pictured it would have been this successful years later?
No way. No. I mean, when I was first told to audition for something called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I thought my agent was, as you guys say, taking a piss. I really, really thought that was what was happening. And then it turned out that it was real. And I went in but I did love the script, and I loved the storyboarding, and I loved, what I saw. But I just still thought, no, it's gonna be, this is too much for people. And it just took off. It just completely took off, and unbelievable the way it was that kind of a success.
Wow, that's so cool. So, Barry, okay, I've got to ask this. I haven't asked anyone this in a very long time. But this was like a common occurrence of me during all of my podcast interviews. I believe you've worked with him a few times. Have you ever worked with Frank Welker?
Oh, yeah, a lot.
Oh my God.
A lot. Yes. We worked in almost everything together.
That's so cool.
In the early days. And there is no nicer human being probably in the business than he is. I mean, he just, and I'm saying going somewhere because everyone I basically meet in voice acting is wonderful and nice and fun. And certainly my turtle buds, and I'm not discounting them, but there's something about Frank Welker. He's just kind of saintly, he's just kind of so sweet and just
Yeah.
yeah. And he really was amazing to work with. Yeah, he was the
Oh,
best. He was the best.
I can't wait to see him again. I think he's coming back to England this year. Oh, I miss him so much.
No, he's the best. And I'm gonna go really old school on you.
Yeah.
And because when I was a kid, not in cartoons, but when I was a kid, I did a few shows with a fellow named Mel Blanc. And
Really?
Mel, of course, was the voice of all of the Looney Tunes, Porky Pig and Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck.
Yep.
And I did some shows with him.
Wow.
And that was wild. That was really wild. Another great guy. So
that is
yeah.
cool.
So that was before I was doing cartoons, and
oh my gosh!
But he was just so amazing.
That is so cool. I never knew that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
I was a kid. I was like 10 years old, I think. Yeah.
Oh wow!
10,
So
years old.
What show was it exactly? Was it live at
the Jack Benny Show?
Oh yeah, I did see on your Wikipedia page. You did do the Jack Benny, yeah, because he was on
Jack
it.
Benny Show, and he was on it all the time. Yeah, so we did like 3 shows together. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and a neat guy, another great guy, just really wonderful person.
Oh, and who was a lovely person? Paul Williams. You were just talking about him before we started because you did a few episodes of Batman the Animated Series as you're still in the DC Comics universe.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And another, he's just fun. Paul is just so much fun, and I have so much respect for Paul as a songwriter. I knew Paul. I knew of Paul first as a songwriter. And I always just kind of loved his music and loved his songs, and so when I got to actually meet him, as a fellow actor, that was kind of cool.
That is so cool. Yeah. Do you remember much about working on Batman, may I ask?
Not a lot. It was kind of in and out because I only did 2 episodes.
Yeah.
I remember it was fun. Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. And Kevin,
Kevin Conroy.
Yeah. No, I only got to really know Kevin through cons.
Yeah, I thought it might have been like that. Yeah,
that's how I got to know Kevin, and of course, I was stunned when he was taken from us. So,
I know
that was very, very sad.
I know, like it's so unexpected, and it just makes me feel sad, just like it just hurts. Yeah. Who else do you remember working with on that show? Whilst I was asked that, whilst I try to find something real quick. So who else do you remember working with on the on?
I don't really. I remember Ephraim, I remember Paul, I remember Kevin, of course, but I don't really remember. It's not a vivid memory. I don't even really remember my character on that show.
His name was Sheldon.
The only thing I remember is that he's a really big guy, but he has my voice, which is kind of odd. That's kind of strange. When I saw a clip of it in YouTube, it was a big guy, but he had my voice. I didn't try to make my voice lower like I do with Bebop. It was very odd.
There you are, Barry.
There he is. There's Kevin and the 4 of us. Yeah.
Oh, so beautiful.
Yeah.
Where was that at?
I can't remember. It might have been Chicago or Detroit, but I think it's one of those 2, but I'm not positive.
Wow. Yeah, Townsend put that on Facebook. Yeah, just like.
Well, does he say on Facebook? Did he say where we were?
It says on the background Wizard World, so it probably was Chicago.
Yeah.
Wizard World is Chicago, right?
Pretty sure. Yeah.
Yep, I thought so, yeah. We have lost a hero, Kevin Conroy, the only real Batman. Oh, hang on,
That's right.
the only well, come on, Facebook. The only real Batman, R.I.P. brother, broken heart.
Yeah.
Like freaking why? That just literally when he passed away, that's all I could just say was
I
why.
know. I know. Well,
Yeah,
there are a lot of those, unfortunately, where
yeah,
we say why, there's no rhyme or reason, but you know,
yeah.
and I'm still
That
here,
truth.
I'm 74, so I'm
You're still
still
kicking it.
flopping
You're still
around,
kicking it, Barry.
still kicking it, still trying to, yeah.
Yeah, of course. And like you're just bringing so much joy to people still. And one thing you
Thank
did
you.
recently, you're welcome, was Shredder's Revenge and also the Nickelodeon
That
collaboration
was
game.
fun. Yes.
Oh, what was it like to return?
I had never done a game before. Now
Really?
no, I hadn't. And so well, I actually did. I take that back. I did like a game for a cereal company
Mhm.
that was on their website. It was a game, I think it was Chex. And I did a game and I played like three different characters. I played a Southern senator and something else. I played like a bunch of different people.
I see.
But I did that for that game. But obviously none of us had done any of the Turtle games. They were always voiced with different people. I think partly because at that time games were not union and we were union, and so we
What
couldn't
was
do
different
them.
iterations of the characters?
But now they're union, so they're all SAG-AFTRA. So we were able to do it, and I had not done it before. Now that was a different experience because you don't go in with anybody, so it's all
Exactly.
just doing your lines in a booth. You just have your lines. But I couldn't believe how many lines there were because you're doing all of these alternate scenarios. So there are so many lines. There are hundreds and hundreds of lines that you're doing for it. And that was very unusual, very different. But I had a great time doing it, and then I got to do the second game. So
Yeah.
the Slime Speedway.
Yeah, yeah. So who voice directed you for Shredder's Revenge?
Hmm?
Who voice directed you for Shredder's Revenge?
I don't remember. It wasn't a voice cartoon person. It was a
Hmm.
voice game person, and I can't
Let me have a look.
remember his name. I'm embarrassed. I just can't
Douglas
remember.
Carrigan.
Yes.
Ah, he's done
Yes.
quite a lot of things. He's mainly done video games. Yeah, he did the kart races one that you did. He's done Nickelodeon All Star Brawl, Transformers Devastation. Um,
Cool.
he's done a few Nickelodeon video games. That's his main focus, really.
And what's his first name again?
Douglas.
Doug. Yeah,
Douglas Carrigan.
that's right. I'm old, so names names come in and they go out. They come in and they go out.
They just walk in,
They
circle.
used to stay with me for years, and now it's kind of they go in, they go out. So that's yeah.
Wow. So, what was it like to return to the role of Donatello after such a long time?
Well, that happened with Transdimensional, and that was so much fun because on Nickelodeon. And
Yeah.
I wasn't sure that I could get the voice where it was, but I was able to do it. So it worked, and when I saw it, it was kind of fun. So I enjoyed it, and I especially enjoyed the scenes where the new Donatello, Rob, talked to the old Donatello, me, and that was so much fun. And because I love those moments when we had them. So.
Wow. And then, of course, I presume Rob voiced the old Raphael in that special.
And he was the old Raphael, so he was doing two things. Yeah, he was doing
Yes.
both parts.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
And he was talking to Sean Astin, who played Raphael in that series. So it's like, yes.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, that is so cool. Wow. So I've had a look. Apparently, they're all like, they weren't born at the same time. They were all like in order because it just says Raphael is the depicted as the second oldest middle child of. Actually, I'm very tempted to see who's the youngest. So we've got Raphael there. Oldest.
I didn't know that. I thought, well, of course they would. I never knew that they figured that out.
Oh, apparently Leonardo's the oldest, followed by Raphael. I believe it's going to be followed by Donatello.
I would think
no,
Mikey is the
Michelangelo.
youngest.
Michelangelo is the third youngest, and then second youngest.
Oh
no, sorry, that's me reading stuff wrong. Yeah, Michelangelo is the youngest, I believe.
That's what I would think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and then Donatello, and then Raphael, and then Leonardo.
Yeah.
Is that how it works? Yeah.
Yep. I believe so. You're right. And
that's not in real life.
I think
in real life it's different. I was always and still am the oldest by far of the turtles. So
that's so cool. I was actually talking to myself the other day, and I was like, how do I distinct like the appearance? And I'm like, well, like to tell people's difference with the colors. Well, Michelangelo loves pizza. It's kind of like an orange color, so that's obviously Townsend Coleman. And then Raphael, it kind of it kind of makes me think of a red. Like red's his favorite color. Like he's sort of like strong and stuff like that. And then your Donatello, so like purple's like kind of chill, isn't it? And then of course Cam is Leonardo, who is like blue and stuff. So it's like it kind of like makes you associate with all these different colors and just like the personalities and stuff like that.
That's interesting. I've never heard that analysis, Amber. That's really cool.
Really?
But I've never thought of that. How the colors relate to the characters.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that you're on.
Well, that's how I tell them apart. That's how I.
Well, you're onto something. Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. What else is on my notes? Let's have a look. If my phone would open. Here we are. Right, okay. So of course you've done Pac-Man, the Hanna-Barbera Pac-Man series with Inky. Yeah. And so Susan Silo, Neil Ross, Chuck McCann, and then you, I believe I've probably said all that wrong. There's probably another person voicing one of the go. There's 4 ghosts, right? Yeah, there's 4 ghosts.
Yeah, there's 4 ghosts. Yeah.
So there's Inky. No, hang on. Wait a minute. Oh, right. Okay. Oh, so it's Inky, Blinky, Pinky, and Clyde.
Pinky and Clyde. Yeah. I think
yeah.
That's right.
Oh, right. So Chuck voices Blinky and Pinky, and then you're Inky, then Neil Ross is Clyde, and then Susan Silo is Sue, which is apparently an extra ghost or something like that. I don't know.
I think Sue wasn't a ghost. Sue is Pac-Man's girl, I think.
No?
Woman.
Female ghost.
No? Oh, she's also a ghost? I don't remember Sue being a ghost. That's interesting.
Well, it says here there's 5 ghosts. A female ghost, and also with a female ghost named
5
Sue.
Ghosts.
Yep, and it says there's because it is because if you have a look in the known ghost section, it says other Pac-Man games: color purple, personality slow, nickname Sue. Then you've got kinky, spunky, awesome, spooky, funky, and wandy.
Okay.
I love how 2 of them are just called kinky and spunky. Like no one's not just gonna say anything. Yeah. So
I know. Yeah.
Cartoon.
In England, that has a whole different.
Oh yeah.
A whole different thing going there. Yeah, I know.
Thankful it wasn't screened in England. So no. I believe you also did Christmas Comes to Pac-Land, I believe, which is the little Christmas special.
Oh yeah, then we did the Christmas special. Yeah.
And well, I have a drawing somewhere. It's of a Chomp and Sourpuss, who's like the dog and the cat, and who were voiced by Frank Welker and Peter Cullen.
That's right.
Yeah. Do you remember working with Peter Cullen at all on anything?
I do. We did a few things together. Again, a great guy. Very enjoyable to work with. My memory of him is not as vivid as it is with Frank or some other people, but I do remember Peter, sure.
Wow. Oh my gosh, that must have been so cool. So actually, I've got to ask about the Jetsons TV series that you did in the 80s. Of course,
yes.
Brought back.
I only did 1 episode though, so
So like But it had the original
But I got
cast,
to
though.
work with June Foray, so that
June was in the
that makes your
episode.
episode. Yeah, I got to work with
Wow.
June, and I got to work with Dawes Butler. So, that was, that episode is memorable in my head. Actually, I think I did 2 episodes, but it's really memorable in my mind.
That is so cool.
Yeah, how cool it was.
Wow. Yeah, because you've got all you got all the Dawes Butler said, Jojo Hanlon, who else is there? Penny Singleton, Janet Waldo. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got all of them as well. And then of course you've had the recording director, Gordon Hunt, and then Andrea Romano did it as well. And then Chris was there. I think
Gordon, of course, I did a lot of stuff with Gordon. I mean, I did probably Gordon is the person that I did the second most things with shows with, other than Sue, because we had that 9-year stint. But I did so much with Gordon at Hanna-Barbera. I was just constantly working over there.
Wow. Speaking of Sue, I'm actually seeing her in Birmingham this August at TF Nation. She's doing a Transformers event, so I'm finally gonna get to meet her in person. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm finally meeting her. I'm very excited because I did have her on my podcast. So
Great.
yeah, I have had a lot of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles guests on my podcast. Which it's quite an achievement, to be fair. Like, I'm just trying to think, who else am I missing aside from Cam? I'm trying to think.
Cam and Renee.
Oh yeah, and Renee. Yeah, of course. Who else is there? Let's have a look on here.
Well, Jennifer Darling, but I don't know if Jennifer's doing anything these days.
Yeah, I've tried reaching Jen. I can't find any contact for her. I think she
and
is.
Jim Cummings, because he replaced James as Shredder.
Oh yeah, James Avery. Yes,
yeah.
Uncle Phil. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
someone else who we lost way too soon.
Yeah, what was it like working with him?
Well, another just teddy bear of a person. I mean, just a nicest, huge man. And we always joke because he never wore shoes. He wore sandals, and during every session he would kick them off and do the session barefoot. And he was always barefoot doing the session, and with these huge feet. They're just big feet. And but he was such a big guy and such a gentle guy. And we really loved him.
Oh, that's so sweet of you to say. Bless. Yeah. He did seem like a really nice guy. Like, I've seen him in like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, sort of like seeing his performance and not just like, just like hearing his voice, you're just thinking like, wow, what a really lovely guy. And
yeah, he really was. Playing Shredder, of course, who wasn't so lovely. And he really pulled it off. I mean, he really made it work, I thought. He was just such a great Shredder. And then Jim came in and did it. So
yeah. So did Jim sound like James, or were they just like two different Shredders?
Well, he tried to sound as close to James as he could. I mean, he didn't quite sound like James. I mean, they didn't completely transform Shredder, though. They tried to land pretty close to it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah.
But James can do anything, so so he was able to grab that voice and basically emulate it. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So SWAT Kats. So a lot of people were probably screaming at the screen saying, "Oh my gosh, Amber, why haven't you brought up SWAT Kats yet?" So I'm like, okay, I'll bring it up now for you. So what was it like working on that?
That was fun. SWAT Kats was a kick. It was actually happening while I was doing Turtles. So there was actually a point where we were doing them both. I was doing them both, the same week. And we also did that show all together, like we did Turtles. So it wasn't coming in and just doing our lines. And I mean, you showed the picture. I mean, Gary Owens, Roddy McDowell, Tress, McNeil. I mean, it's just James Hong. I mean, it was just an amazing cast of
Probably
people.
Mark
Of course,
Hamill
Charlie. Great
Yeah.
Charlie. Yeah, Mark Hamill. And it was just Charlie was exceptional. And so we it was fun. We frankly thought that was going to go, that one we did think was going to go longer, and we were a little surprised when it only got 2 seasons, but because it was just such a good cast. And the writing was good on that show too. And they keep saying they want to try to bring it back, but
have you heard of the reboot that they're doing?
Well, they're not, are they?
Apparently they are. People have expressed interest in bringing it back, and
yeah, but I mean, Davis was on the phone with us, asking us to do it. So I would assume that if it's happening, we would hear something, but I don't know. He was trying to raise money for it. I know that.
I was going to say, in a Kickstarter campaign update on January 19th, 2022, show co-creator Christian Tremblay announced that they teamed up with Toons Media Group.
Yeah.
Teamed up to bring SWAT Kats Revolution to life. On February 1st, several websites reported additional details, including that the new series is billed as being for kids in the age range of 5 to 11, and the series was already in pre-production as of that date. No updates since, but
that was a year ago.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, maybe they went ahead with it.
Well, I hope they get.
Maybe they went ahead with it.
It'd be cool if you could return.
Who will be Razor? That's the question then. If they went ahead with it,
why couldn't you be Razor? You've been doing.
Well, Christian called, and he was interested in us doing it, but getting the band back together. But maybe he decided to go a different way, or maybe it's a non-union project, or who knows? You never know.
Well, no one knows exactly. To round off this podcast episode, I'd like to talk to you about an upcoming appearance that you're doing in Texas this weekend. So the weekend of the 4th and the 5th
all 4 of us are going to be at Hill Country Comic-Con. And I'm excited. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a great time in Austin, Texas. And this is another one that was supposed to happen during the pandemic, but got postponed. So we're really looking forward to coming and doing that. So if anybody is out there anywhere near Texas, please come see us. And because we love to see you guys at the cons, and you make our day. And make our lives, really, because to know that you're out there and that you've been fans, and it's just really a wonderful thing. So come see us, Hill Country Comic-Con.
I'll put a link to the description.
Saturday. It's going to be Saturday and Sunday, the 4th and 5th.
Are you doing a panel at all, like a Q&A?
Yes, we're doing a panel on Saturday.
Nice. Oh my gosh.
Yes, we are.
Sounds like fun. I'll definitely put the link in the description to the website, or where people can buy tickets at very short notice, but hopefully there might be a fruit left, so fingers crossed.
Okay. We're doing a Streamily event.
Oh, yeah. I think I've seen something.
And the question is, when are we doing it? Rob Fury.
So are you all doing it together, or are you all doing it separately?
I think we might be together. Ooh. I'm thinking we are, and it's May 9th.
So just after
at 3 p.m. Pacific time.
So just after Telford then. So with that, thank you so much for watching this episode of In Conversation with ATF. Yes, that's the title. I kind of stumbled on it a second, with Barry Gordon, everybody.
Turtle Power!
Turtle Power! Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Go see Barry in Texas if you can. Austin, Texas at the, where is it again? Sorry? At the
Hill Country Comic-Con.
The Hill Country Comic-Con in Austin, Texas, the weekend of March 4th and the 5th. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and please don't forget to share with your Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan friends. And we'll see you soon. Bye. And